Well, hello, and today I'm really happy to be showing you just a fascinating game. This game really allows you to control a political party in 1932 to try and stop the Nazi menace. Now, the interesting thing here is you don't just only get to play in Germany. You can also play in England or France and choose from a number of different political parties and even sort of guide their platform as you're playing. So you can actually pick up new dogmas, new ideals, and essentially make your own party. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new game here, and I'm sure you guys would love to see Germany 1932. In fact, if you want to see me do a full Let's Play of one of these, make sure to let me know in the comments down below which one you would prefer. But for this one, we are going to take Germany 1932. Come on. We've got to try and stop the Nazi menace. And there's a number of different parties we can take. We can take the Social Democrats, which really are the center-left party here. We could take the Communist Party of Germany, the far left, the German Center Party, the Steel Helmet, aka the League of Front Soldiers, the German People's Party, which is actually a center-right party, a Bavarian People's Party, and even the German National People's Party, the DNVP, which eventually was absorbed into the N party. I can't say the starts with an N, ends with an I, because of YouTube here. That being said, it's really, really cool that we get to select from these. Now, you can see the party supporters on the lower left corner, so it's clearly some parties are a lot more difficult than others. I'm going to go with Kommunist Party Deutschland, only because I think Social Democratic Party has way too much power, and this would be the next easiest thing. You can, of course, select an initial starting budget, and we're going to start at 1 million. And here it'll let you know how much of a challenge that's actually going to be. Now, the whole goal is to try and win the election instead of the National Socialist Workers' Party in 149 turns. And this game just has so many fascinating ways to go about that. So the first thing we need to do is hire a leader to our post. And we can, of course, select Ernst Thälmann. As you can see over here, in terms of charisma, language, level of belief, and determination, he's excellent. So he's going to make a really, really good party boss, at least for the newspaper edition. But over here, we can actually hire some additional leaders over time, all with different statistics, etc. But that's going to take some time. We don't want to do that just now. We want to go ahead and just get the essentials, basically. So we do want to start printing a newspaper, but for that, we're going to have to hire some journalists. And over here, you can decide just how much money you want to spend on these journalists. So I'm going to go to 1,000. And let's see who's got a decent skill in newspapers. Nicholas Diefenbach has a great skill in investigation, but we really need a newspaper guy right now, so I'm going to take him. And I'll also take Diefenbach. He might have his uses later. Now we're going to go to the actual print, but first we need to go to our journalists and pretty much make sure that these guys are selected for their particular positions. Let's see, the editorial team. There we go. So we can go ahead and drop Lars into leaflets. Let's see. So he's actually best with newspapers. Let's put him over here. And this guy's best with investigation. We don't currently have an investigation slot open, so I'm actually going to put him right there, Nicholas Diefenbach. Now we can decide, of course, to start printing some of our newspapers, but this does cost money. Now, in this case, I'm going to go for 75,000. The circulation of leaflets is going to be 100,000, and we're going to have to hire promoters to do this. Now, this gets to another interesting part of the game, and that is that when we go to staff, we can actually start hiring our own activists, our own promoters, and our own campaign members. And much like the street fights that occurred during 1939, or more 1933 Germany, after the Nazi Party won and before the Nazi Party won, we can buy our own street fighters, essentially. So we're going to hire about 4,000 activists. We're going to hire a bunch of promoters as well. And these are just kids that go around passing out the party newspaper. And we're going to hire a lot of campaigners. Now, we can see Communist Party of Germany right there. This lets us know the busy agitators, but we can also take a look at the percentage of votes, etc. We're not going to do that right now, though. We're going to go to the next turn. So this is what I was telling you guys about the dogma aspect. We can go ahead and select a certain dogma here to potentially appeal to a group of voters. Like, even though we're the Communist Party, maybe we could appeal to center-right voters and actually get some of them. The different things we can go for right now are going to be freedom, which will attract 5% of regular voters from all regions that have become our supporters, but there's always a negative cost to the dogma, much like any dogma, political or religious. The cost of printing newspapers and leaflets will increase by 7%. We also could take the authoritarian leader clause, which is considered in the far-right ideology, but don't feel bad, this game's not biased, because if we go to the far left, we also have all religion being banned and mandatory labor. I like the importance of the individual in a communist party. It's not something you would usually see, but these are all center-right ideologies. So we want to go for the left ideology, which is going to be the center-left ideology, not the far left. There's going to be freedom here, and we're going to try to do optimal circulation. Now, this costs more, but since we took that 1 million, we're going to be able to go ahead and print it, no problem. So, once again, each of these journalists is going to be printing different papers. We can hire another journalist here just to pretty much fill out our team as much as we can. So let's drop him in the newspaper. Oh, I see. It's going to cost us quite a lot to put him there. So for now, we're just going to wait until that journalist is prepared. Now, the actual political map is one of my favorite parts of the game itself. Right here, this shows us every single region, individual region in Germany. And if we mouse over the regions, we can actually see the party in control, as well as the two parties coming up. So we're third place. The Nazis are second. The NSDAP is number 1. And so we're essentially looking for places where we're doing fairly well. There doesn't seem to be a single place where we're leading in first place. Oh, wait, there is, in Westphalia. So what we can actually do here is a number of different things. Number one, we're going to have a list of different sponsors in these regions, essentially people that promise to vote for us, etc., provide us with funds, but we can also send in agitators. And right now, we actually have people busy agitating, and I'm going to stick this at 25% to the regions that have the highest number of our voters. That's just what I think is right now. So as you can see, we've occupied some of them. You know what? I am also going to send in some activists. We do that the same way, and I'm going for the regions that essentially have the most respect for us, and we'll do 25% over here. Okay, you can see right there how some of the party influence jumped a little bit. At least it let us know that our agitators are in there. And look at that, guys. Once we actually sent them in, we were able to rile things up, maybe start some street fights, intimidate some people, and maybe just hand out some newspapers that people liked, which put us above the NSDAP, which is just really, really fascinating here, how you can do that. Now, usually this takes quite a while, and we've already hired quite a lot of agitators. But we'll hire some more. Hire some more activists here. It's the code word for agitators. And let's send the agitators to start campaigning. And this time, we're going to do it at 100%. And we're still... You know what? We're going to do it proportionally to the voters. All right, beautiful. 611 busy agitating. And of course, this is entirely up to you how much you actually want to agitate. Currently, we have more agitators out than any of the other parties, so we're really trying to, push the envelope and get the people to vote for us. I like it. We need to keep it going, and maybe eventually we can actually break through. Now, one mistake that we did here, and that you hopefully won't do in your game, is the budget aspect here. We spent so much on hiring, newspaper chiefs and party leaders that we essentially got to the point where we started running out of money. And this can obviously happen any number of ways, especially when you have to hire 3 more journalists. But I think you guys get pretty much the idea of how the game works. Over time, you generate more income through your sponsors, through agitation. You can even begin doing some actual protests here. But as you can see here, the protests, like just about anything else in politics, do cost money. But they actually are able to change things pretty dramatically. Not to mention, you can use one of your party leaders over here, appoint him to strengthen the protest, and it's also going to get him respect within the country. Now, before I end this video, I don't want to end it right away, I'm going to show you another country in the game, and we'll take a look at what political parties we can get there. So, in our First part of our gameplay, you guys saw that, of course, the goal in Germany is to stop Hitler from becoming chancellor, and of course, to be the top party in Germany at the time, at which point your leader will become a chancellor. But we're going to take a look at Great Britain now, and in this case, what we're actually trying to do is stop Neville Chamberlain from becoming the Prime Minister of the Conservatives. Many of you know Neville Chamberlain, and these are accusations, but I think fairly well backed up by evidence, was sort of a Nazi sympathizer. He was not well liked whatsoever. So we're going to jump in here, and as you can see, we could get the Conservative Party, the Labour Party. These are all parties, many of these parties, that still exist today. And once again, the same situation as our German parties, where we can see the number of party supporters, as well as the financing. Poor Liberal Democrats, not looking too good. Neither is the National Labour Organization, which is a center-right Labour Party. We've got the new party here, the far-right, sort of the fascists, in Great Britain, and we also have the Nationalist Party of Northern Ireland. So you even have Irish politics involved here, in this case, the Irish Protestants in the north, the Social Credit Party, the Communist Party of Great Britain, and the Scottish National Party. I mean, this is pretty amazing stuff. So, of course, just imagine the challenge, and you can see here the challenge of winning with the Scottish National Party, but just imagine the possibilities if you could actually go in and change UK politics to such an extent that the Scottish National Party wins the election. And I think that's really the jumping off point of this game, is seeing if you can even make that happen. Is that even really possible? Or is it absolutely impossible? I think it's a real challenge. In any case, guys, I hope you enjoyed this first look. Really, this is just a video showing you guys what the game has to offer, including the dogma system, everything else. And if you guys would like me to turn this into a campaign, I think I would love to. I don't want anybody thinking that I hold a certain political belief because I select a certain party. So whichever party you want me to play as, we can try to win. Even if we don't get a victory, maybe we can at least try and get a better voting outcome than the actual party would have gotten at the time. Let me know what you think, guys, and if you do enjoy these videos, I'm asking you to please like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. If you want to help the channel financially, I know this is a tough time, so I ask you please just don't give anything more than $2 on the Patreon link down below. Just keep the rest of your money and spend it on something more important. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.